The birth, the rise, the fall. What was once a titan is now only a shadow of its former glory. Which kinda sucks, cause I kinda invested the shit out of this community you outsiders might not understand about the legacy QuizUp has left behind. And are also probably confused every time I make a QuizUp related inside joke. So I, Scraggy King 20, am here to tell you all about what happened to QuizUp. No, what? This is my video! What?
One day, the original one arrived to the world. It was either Mew, Arceus, or no. I'm getting news that it was actually youngster Joey who created the Four Heads of Plain Vanilla, a group of select individuals with ambitions like no other. The first of the Four Heads is Lord Farquad, the eldest of them all. With his ability to capture the hearts of many with his short figure and script cards, he was the one to put the marketing of their legendary project out into the universe. The second of the Four Heads was Leafy is here, the man who developed his bright ideas through his Minecraft Let's Plays. The third head is the Moogle from Final Fantasy, built with the intense knowledge of antivirus protection protecting this application from internal destruction. And the last head, but definitely not the least, Thor Fredrickson. Harnessing the power of his mighty hammer, he threatened the creators of Trivia Crack to give them the source code. And so, QuizUp was born, a booming application with many users, sharing many different interests and many flourishing discussions, such as rollerplays. Things were going well for Plain Vanilla. However, one day, youngster Joey got extremely power hungry, looking at the free quizzing app and told himself, this is not what I want. We need money, and threatened the world to buy special perks known as boosters. A type of man-made fuel created to power up the user, giving an unfair advantage of knowledge to anyone that ingests it, making them unstoppable beings. Nobody liked this idea and tried to strike back. There was no other way of stopping this catastrophic end other than forcing them to lose sleep over the app, causing them to drop points faster. However, Thor Fredrickson had an idea, and waved his mighty hammer and struck youngster Joey in the head. The power of the strike was so strong, Joey was left with a concussion and lost his memory. He was then sent to the hospital right after these events took place. Thor removed the boosters from the store and life continued on peacefully. However, this peace did not remain for long. Leafy is here, one of the heads, grew tired and bored from his activities at Plain Vanilla. He decided to retire from the company and move on to continue doing what he did best, bullying kids. However, this was not all. A report saying Joey ran away from the hospital laughing maniacally with a purple rat in his hands, shouting at the top of his lungs that he had found the top percentage of Rattata. Ever since, youngster Joey was nowhere to be found. Legends say he calls any unsuspecting fool, telling them about his top percentage Rattata. Plain Vanilla was down to 3 heads, and no leader. The Moogle from Final Fantasy nominated Thor to be the leader due to the way he dealt with the booster situation. Unfortunately, Lord Farquad did not agree to this idea and nominated himself for leader. The two battled hard, trying to convince Moogle that they were fit enough to be leader. Unfortunately, Moogle's heart was set, and she decided to elect Thor as the new leader of Plain Vanilla. Lord Farquad was extremely angry at the decision and ran off screaming how he would create his own empire and find revenge. Things were rather quiet in Plain Vanilla. Thor decided as new leader that he would revamp QuizUp into QuizUp 2.0, an app holding a different variation of its logo, a new overlay, and the you know what, just watch this video, point to welcome to QuizUp. In the end, Moogle finally confessed her undying love to Thor, who unfortunately did not share these same feelings, which led to Moogle planting an unbeatable virus into the system, the Mudgies. Every time the app would act weirdly, it would because of those Mudgies. You could say that, the Mudgies are at it again. Things went downhill fast. People complained about the app. Not because of the new revamp, the app itself was fine. It was about the players and how they could never live up to 1.0's expectations or something. There were multi-devices, using their many smart tablets to progress faster and further inside the leaderboards, and people were losing sleep to try and combat this unfair advantage. Moderators were eventually hired for this job, but even then they still didn't receive enough power to ban Young Money and his cucumber. Thor decided there was one more thing to do. He needed more money, and so he created what youngster Joey could never do. A double scam. That's right. The Quizmart returned with more boosters and gems, which could let you purchase boosters for free as well as ads who would double the amount of money they would produce thanks to the large player base. Nobody liked this idea, and as much as people hated the idea, Thor was too far down, snorting flex glue on his left and coding more boosters on the right. There was no hope for the app. Or was there? On the 18th of February 2016, Serenity, a very important character in the community, posted a post saying she was leaving the app due to the mass amount of ads. However, this was just a cover-up story, since she was actually planning a trip to Iceland to combat plain vanilla. Unfortunately, she was stopped by one of the 3 ex-heads of plain vanilla, Lord Farquad, with his new goons called the QuizUp goons, dedicated to thwart anyone who tried to prevent the downfall of QuizUp and plain vanilla as a whole. Then, a while later, Serenity made a post about how she has appeared. This was huge news. She has escaped the QuizUp goons and was now headed home. But unfortunately she was stopped by Serena, who was a doppelganger of Serenity, because only Serena could stop Serena. Okay, just watch these videos. Once Serenity returned back home, the ads have calmed down, and everything seemed right in the world. Until this caused a bankruptcy for plain vanilla. Thor spent all his money on flex tape and boosters, and nobody was buying the boosters, which meant that there was an imbalance in finances. With this, at the end of 2016 there was a panic about what would happen to QuizUp. That is, when the legendary Glue Games Incorporated came to buy QuizUp, seeing potential behind the app. Glue had saved the app. Right? Plain Vanilla's leader Thor Fredrickson had planned to meet up with the head of Glue Games Incorporated, the makers of Kim Kardashian mobile games. What kind of genius could be behind all these ideas? Oh my god, it was Leafy Ashir all along. Leafy Ashir was finally the new owner of QuizUp, and his YouTube channel wasn't doing very well at this time. Ever since he caused drama with Keemstar, it was about time that his career was about to end. QuizUp was now the place where he could oversaturate it with more ads and more money-making tactics. It was the perfect plan. No matter how saturated the app would become, nobody could leave. So he thought. Everyone left. Insano and Flandra created the Pokemon Discord, or now it's called GG App. What the hell? Everyone deported over to this server. No ads, no QuizUp. It was a pure preservation of the community they had built, and what Leafy almost destroyed. So what happened to Leafy? What happened to plain vanilla? What happened to QuizUp? Well, one of the first people to leave, which started the movement of QuizUp, was Serenity. She decided to fall into her K-pop phase and sing alone to all her favorite Asian boys such as Ryan Hika, Luis Fonsi, Yozora Nico and more. So, this seems like the end of the line. Serenity leaving caused everything behind her to crumble. Everyone deported to Discord, and QuizUp was only left with a shadow of its former self. And the ads. QuizUp is hidden behind the shadows, and the ads, and you get the point. However, Serenity did not leave. The K-pop story was a cover-up. She was actually making her final stand against QuizUp, against Glue. She cared too much about her community, her people, to let it die. She made a charge with her 4 generals in Sanu, the British soldier. The 2nd general was her right-hand maiden Razor. The 3rd general was Kayama. But the final general was the Moogle from Final Fantasy. She has demonstrated her skills. However, she only had one goal: to find the love of her life, Thor, once again. It was the only closure she needed after these events. With these 4 generals, Serenity marched into plain vanilla, fighting for not only the safety of the Pokemon community, but for QuizUp. And our cameraman got it all on footage. Please take a look.
Are you scared?
did she say? What you say? That you only meant well, well, 'cause Yes, you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, because it is.
Was so wrong for so long, only trying to please myself. Girl, I was caught up in her lust when I don't really want no one else. So, cause when the roof caved in and the truth came out, I just didn't know what to do. But when I
Oh, these are pretty cool bananas.